All right, everybody, welcome back to Smith's Customs. You got Jacob here. Well, the moment we've all been waiting for. Well, that I've been waiting for. Let's get these injectors rebuilt so I can get these things back in. And, well, I want to see if we can breathe some life back into this truck, hopefully. I don't know if it'll run or not, but I'm hoping the end of this long road here that I've been on that this might be a possibility. I'm going to go over the points and keys of what I'm cleaning, how I'm doing it. That way you guys have an idea, and well, let's see if we can make one of these things work. I'm only going to do this on one of them. Obviously, I'm not going to do it on all four of these. So, I still got my parts in the little basket here. I'm going to open this basket up. We're going to go ahead and dump that basket right out into that same box that we had them in prior. Got all the little parts out. Now I got my drill here. Obviously you can see I have a bunch of Q-tips here. I'm just cleaning out the seats and passages. That way I can make sure that everything is clean and ready to go. So I'm gonna start by taking a fresh Q-tip and chalk it up in my drill here. And I don't want to use anything abrasive, so all I'm doing is I'm just running a little brake clean on there. You can see I'll just take the Q-tip, wet her down really good with some brake clean. Now, first part I'm going to clean is this solenoid here. I'm going to go right in that hole. I'm just going to clean that really good, make sure that's cleaned out. These should not be bad at all because, well, I've already run them through the ultrasonic, but I'm going to make sure I'm getting this good. You can see the discoloration on there. Still took a little bit of tarnish off, which is what I want. I want these things 100% spotless. Now, as you can see, we have a nozzle in this one. This is the nozzles I'm going to be using. There's the nozzle pin and there's the nozzle itself. Now, when I go ahead and do this, I'm going to actually spin this out when I'm done cleaning that other part. And I'm going to make it really long and pointy. There's a reason I'm doing this. Inside of here, we have that ball seat. I'm going to run that right down into that ball seat and just run it to clean up that ball seat inside that hole in there. I'm going to do that just a little bit more. Put a little more brake clean on this. This is probably overkill, but I want to make sure these things are really good to go. Okay, got that. I'm going to blow that out real quick with some air. All right, that part's good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut another Q-tip. This is the hardest one, and you have to be very careful with this one. I'm going to cut that Q-tip very long. I'm going to chalk that up in the drill. This one is the one you have to be very careful when you're putting this in, because I'm actually going to clean the inside of that nozzle. And I can tell you, fitting a Q-tip in there, it is a very tight fit. So what I do, I actually get a little brake clean on it, and I work it back and forth and stretch that tip out. Make it long and skinny. Once it's long and skinny, I'm going to go ahead and get a little more brake clean on it. Okay, now I'm going to start spinning that, and I'm going to work that right into that nozzle. I'm going to go all the way down to the very bottom with it, and I'm just going to work that thing back and forth. You need to make sure you're not forcing that in, because if it's too hard to get in, you get it stuck in there, you're not getting that thing back out. Now I'm going to show you why we're doing this. Now you can look at that. You see how dirty that is? That's old carbon deposits inside of there. So we're gonna toss that one. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this other one, and we're gonna do the same thing again. Yes, it's a pain in the rear. It's probably not the best thing in the world, or the best way in the world, I should say, but it gets the job done. Out of all of them I've done, I had one that I had that just wouldn't come back to life. And that one obviously is not going in because I had one mess up, so. And that one that messed up, I switched the nozzle out and it was perfectly fine. Okay, so we got that stretch back out of there. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna run it through here again. All right. Now I'm just going to rinse that out with a little brake clean. Okay, that's all blown out. Now all I do on the needle itself is I just drench it with some brake clean. And I take a rag, and I just spin it in the rag just to make sure it's nice and clean. Again, you don't want to use anything abrasive on these because these are a very tight fit. They're supposed to be. If you lose that tight fit, you're going to lose your sealing and it's never going to work right. So we're going to set this thing down in there. Now, see how nice and easy that thing moves in and out? It shouldn't move in and out hard at all. See how it's just basically falling right out? That's perfect. That means that's not sticking. That's ready to go. So we got the ball seat cleaned out. We got the nozzle cleaned out. We got the slide point for the solenoid cleaned out. What I didn't clean out yet was the return line side. For that, I'll take my Q-tip out of there. I'm going to put this small little wire brush in there. I chuck that up, and I'm just going to run that in the return side. Just to make sure that thing's nice and clean. Not a lot of pressure, just kind of set it in there. Nope, not pushing on it, just letting it do the work itself. Then when that's done, I'm going to blow that thing out. All right, now that's done. Now I'm going to take the actual solenoid slide that goes inside that solenoid. I'm going to put a little brake clean on that. Same thing. I'm just going to take some brake clean, put it on there. I'm going to take my little rag here. We're just going to scrub that thing off. Just spin it inside that rag. I'm going to do the same thing on the small shaft portion of it. We're going to test that in there. This should slide freely. No real resistance. It should slide real nice. And that does. Beautiful. The other part I'm going to check, I'm going to grab the disc. I want to make sure that disc will slide on the small side of this freely, which it does. But, me being me, just being precautious, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run a Q-tip through it just to be on the safe side. Just to make sure there's no chance of anything sticking or any kind of issues. Because, well, I want this truck to run. I don't know the last time this truck ran, and I want to be the first one to hear it run in a very long time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run that Q-tip in there. I'm going to do it from both sides. Okay, now that we've ran that in there, I can see how nice that thing slides. There should be no resistance. All these parts should slide. If they don't, then don't put it together, because if it's not sliding, it has an issue. And if it has an issue, it's gonna stick, get stuck open, over fuel, and you could end up with a bent crank, cracked piston. There could be multiple things that could come of that. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just assemble this one real quick. Seeing that we're already through the cleaning procedure. Actually, no, I'm not gonna assemble it. I'm gonna make a separate video for that. So that's it on the cleaning of this. They're all nice and clean. Everything's been gone through now. And I'm gonna stop this video there. And I'm gonna come back in with a assembly video. That way you guys can see how I put this thing together. All right, well, thanks for following along. I appreciate the support. Like, subscribe, share. Hey, stick around. Hopefully we'll be breathing some life into this whole thing here pretty soon. It'll be amazing. I'm curious to see if this thing will fire up and run. So, all right, catch you guys on the next one.